Watching the Super Bowl, I'm just gonna watch the commercials. Literally, that's all I'm gonna watch because I have my For You page is full of people warning us not to watch the halftime show at the very least. That there's like some black magic going on. If you don't believe in that, that's fine. I'm a Christian. There was also a lot of people with like prophecies that have had dreams that God told them to share, that there's gonna be some like dark message like that's gonna come into us and or into your house through your TV if you watch the halftime show. So I'm just trying to pass the message along. But I do want to know what Elon Musk paid $40 million to tell us. Even if you're not a Christian, if you believe in psychics, like if you believe that they are real, there was a video that I saw. It was a really lengthy video, and the psychic wasn't the person that was telling the story, but it was an anonymous story that got sent into them that said, do not watch the halftime show. Don't watch the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna watch the commercials. I'm gonna turn off the halftime show when it comes on. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed because the halftime show is usually better than the game itself. If you do have to watch it for some reason, just know I'll be praying for you.
Hi y'all, welcome back to another video here in Stacy's Random POV, and definitely we have to talk about this. And before I get into the details, just remember everything I bring and talk about in this video is absolutely positively and definitively my opinion and my opinion alone. So this very famous TikToker who goes by Michelle the Bartender, and when I say famous, I don't mean that loosely. She has like 5 million followers on TikTok, and maybe even more, since it seems like she's just starting to get under fire for what she just said about the Super Bowl. And before I get into the other creators' opinion about what she just has to say, I have some things I want to bring up first. Point number one is that I find it very hypocritical that a quote-unquote Christian is going around listening to spirituals, i.e. witches or people who go by their premonitions. I find that very hypocritical, ironic. Didn't they persecute those type of people back in the days and call them witches? Then she proceeds on to say that she will not watch the halftime, nor will she watch the game, only the commercials. And ironically enough, she taped the game. Ain't nobody gonna tell me anything. This woman watched the halftime show. She just did all of this for track value, and because she wasn't getting the reception she was expecting, and she's not getting as much likes and engagement in her video, she came back and said the most stupidest things. But I'm gonna let that be. Stick around, watch these videos, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary. And yeah, I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say about this entire mess.
I'm not gonna be watching the Super Bowl. I'm just gonna watch the commercials. Literally, that's all. That there's gonna be some like dark message like that's gonna come into us and or into your house through your TV if you watch the halftime show. So I'm just trying to pass the message along. But
Seed of evil. How can the demons be stopped? Is another apocalyptical prediction.
This was hilarious. I love the sarcasm in this. But check this out. It's not over. Check this out.
So there's a popular page, Michelle the Bartender, and people have been on following her over a recent controversy. She was talking about how there was black magic coming through the halftime show, how people needed to not watch. She is a Christian, and a bunch of people unfollowed her over it. And she's now doubling down and saying that people are unfollowing her for no reason. I want to respond to that because it's not for no reason. I want to tell you that what you're saying is super dangerous, and I'm gonna tell you from an experiential story time perspective. I had my first manic episode at 17. I was raised in the church, and my first manic episode, I have bipolar type 2, was a complete paranoia. And I was up at night because I thought people were in the woods following me. I soon after discovered that there was someone in my mirror, coming through my mirror. And then I decided, or my brain tricked me into believing, that I was possessed by a demon, I was kept up for multiple nights because you don't sleep when you're manic, thinking that I was completely possessed and crying to God to take this demon away and exorcise me because I could not handle basically being awake for nights at a time. But from my upbringing, that's how I decided that I was possessed. Ultimately, it became so bad that I decided I would unalive myself because I could not sleep. I went upstairs on maybe the second or third night of being awake and took a Tylenol bottle and hid it behind my back when my brother came in the room, and he saved my life because I realized that I did not want to leave my little baby brother on this planet without me. Thank God he was there, because God knows what would have happened otherwise. I'm not Christian anymore. I have deconstructed, and I will tell you that these ideas are extremely dangerous, especially for people who have mental illness and become hyper-religious in their episodes. So it's not for no reason. People are very concerned about this type of rhetoric because it is extremely dangerous and it hurts people.
Oh, do not watch the Super Bowl halftime show. I am just gonna watch it for the commercials. Where were all the commercials? See, there is black magic and voodoo happening at the halftime show. You watch that in your house, and that devil spirit is going straight into your living room. I was watching it, and next thing you know, I felt a tingling in my Ringling Brother Circus area, and that is not good. That is not Christian. That is not Christ. Praise Jesus. Would you like a drink? Jesus is my savior. Jesus is my home. I got so scared. I put my hair up because you know what they say? The higher the hair, the closer to Jesus. I wanted to be close to Jesus when I turned on that halftime show. I was scared. I have been seeing it all over my For You page. I see, don't watch the Super Bowl halftime show. It's black magic. Jesus not gonna come to you. Satan gonna get you. Don't watch it. Just watch it for the commercials. But where were the commercials? I don't know. But I do know this. If you watch the Super Bowl halftime show, you're going to hell. That's what's gonna happen to you. I'm just saying. Okay? That's right. What? Oh yeah. Well, I told them. But Jeebus, I told them. But I tell them again, don't watch the Super Bowl halftime show. Okay?
Let's have a quick chat. There is so much worse that I could have said about Michelle the bartender, especially given that the ideologies that she subscribes to are so harmful to so many people. Sorry about your eggs. People are losing rights, and also the grocery prices are still high. But it's so crazy to me that when there's somebody who is pro-MAGA and somebody else makes a commentary, and I didn't even comment on her ideologies themselves very much. I brushed over it very briefly, but I mainly talked about how we are not owed a parasocial relationship when we make content on this app. I wasn't rude. I didn't call her names. I didn't even say that she was an idiot. I could have. I simply explained the consumer and creator relationship. It baffles me that the same people that are so quick to saying, oh, well, you're bullying Michelle because you're talking about unfollowing her for what she believes in, are the same people that are so willing to just turn the other cheek and occasionally participate in ideologies and messages and rhetoric that actually harm people. Trans people in this country are being erased from the map. Don't get it twisted. That is not lost on me. Families are being ripped apart in this country, being treated as secondary people. Not even secondary citizens. They're not being treated as citizens. Even the illegal immigrants that have been here for years and years and years and years, that have contributed to this economy, that have contributed to the farming in this country. But thank God kids have to lock their phones up when they go to school, and thank God we're not doing anything about violence in those schools, so even if the worst case scenario happens, they can't text their families goodbye. I'm sorry, I'm not worried about the Gulf of Mexico. I'm not worried about buying Greenland. I'm not worried about paper straws. I'm worried about the harmful things that are happening in this country, and if we're gonna sit here and call me a bully for making a commentary on Michelle the bartender when she supports the real bullies, that's when you're gonna take a seat and I'm gonna stand up. And just so you know, Bessie, Women's rights are next. The newest bill that has been introduced talks about having the man of the household only being the person to have the sole vote when it comes to a presidential election, to vote on behalf of the entire household, and women who have ever changed their name are no longer going to be allowed to vote if this passes. They're not just coming for the minorities. You just got too comfortable and forgot that you have been a minority before, and you're about to be again. And I'm so sorry, because I tried to stop it, but y'all were too worried about eggs.
My favorite thing is when people say, oh, I don't care about people unfollowing me, like Michelle the bartender is currently doing after she... It's a whole thing. She missed the entire message of the Super Bowl show. Anyways, halftime show. Good God. I could do a whole video on that. But here's the thing. Somebody that claims that they don't care if they're losing followers doesn't typically go out and buy followers and make a video saying that they don't care about people unfollowing them. She bought 100,000 followers because she is literally bleeding followers right now. Make that make sense.
Okay guys, so if you gotten this far into the video, thank you so much. You guys are the real ones. I promise you. I hope you already hit that like button and the subscribe, because once you subscribe, you already know what's gonna happen. So for the closing thing that I wanted to add to this woman situation and why this is happening, I just find it so ironic how purposefully obtuse these people are being into plain ignorant to the fact that we are literally being taken for a ride and taken for a fool. Okay, and in this time and age, at this 2025 on, everyone is living on their truth, and you can no longer pretend to be something that you are not. And also, mental health is real, you guys. Take time to yourself to figuring out where you are personally, mentally, physically, and emotionally, because those are very important things in life. And I can't wait to hear what else you guys have to say about this entire matter, about this woman being dragged by a lot of American people who are seeing and understanding what exactly is going on out here. But subscribe. Once you subscribe, you automatically become a member of this village. Bye.